the Bitcoin gold rush is absolutely here right now. And we're going to talk about that and where are the altcoins going next and what kind of trades we should be looking at right now. Bitcoin likes to go on 3 to 4 week runs. And I think this run is probably over for the shorter term. That doesn't mean that it's over, but what I mean is we'll likely go sideways for a little bit and let alts start to catch up. And if you've noticed that your portfolio jumped overnight, that's because it's likely that alts are going to have their turn now, and so will ETH, etc. Let's look at Bitcoin and where it's at and what's happening right now. So Bitcoin had a very nice run up off the 100 EMA right here. So the 100 EMA held, and basically was showing us mixed signs. I talked about that earlier on, how I was like, I don't know, I thought it might come down. Would have maybe went to the bottom of the cloud, but we had this ETF approval and we started having a lot of buying pressure. And as you guys have been seeing, there's a lot of buying pressure. BlackRock bought 10,000 Bitcoin in one day 2 days ago. We don't have the data yet for today. I will share that later in the next video. But the point I'm trying to get to is that there's obviously a lot of people looking at Bitcoin going, what is happening? And we've broke down this before. And if you guys watch this video by Michael Saylor, just let you guys take a quick check about what it's saying. But basically, we're in the gold rush. So let's just take a quick look.
We're in the Bitcoin gold rush. It started in January of 2024, and it will run till about November of 2034.
We're in the gold rush. It doesn't matter if you were in, BC in Canada, and when they had the gold rush in the Yukon Valley, and you came with a pick, an axe, a bar, a shovel, you found gold yourself. Basically, everyone can make money. And I did talk about this before, how it just becomes easy in a bull market to make money. It doesn't matter what you invest into, it doesn't matter where you put it, but everything starts to move. If we have all this buying pressure, if we know in 2034 that 99% of all the Bitcoin is going to be mined, we obviously know that we're in a time right now where the next 10 years are going to be basically this massive gold rush. Now, looking forward, where is Bitcoin going? Well, why I think there's going to be some type of movement in Bitcoin right now is simple. It's that we're in the extreme greed phase. So we could see a little bit more pullback, or because this is skewed due to the ETF data, because this is not taking into that consideration of there's actually buying pressure that wasn't there before. So these might actually not be working properly as they were in the past due to the ETFs. So just keep that in mind as well, because it could be a lot more irrational right now than you will be solvent for. And that's one of the things we always talk about in the market. So Bitcoin right now is in that state where we could likely do something that looks a lot more like this. We can come back down to this level, we go back up, we can do some one of those for a few weeks. We kind of go sideways, maybe we go up a little bit, but I don't think we're gonna get explosive impulses. We might go sideways and up. We might even come down to where I talked about last time at the Kijun. So the Kijun is way down here when I was talking about it, so it's pretty far away. I don't know if you guys remember that. If you're watching these videos, you should be, because I'm explaining to you things that are possibly going to happen before they do. And that is why people watch, and that's why people are close to me and in the club, because they know that I'm going to tell them stuff likely to prepare for before it happens. And here's the reality. If this Kijun stays flat, it could pull up a little bit. We can only go to here. But the reality is that it could come back down and retest those levels if we see more sell-off. And that would not be bearish. A lot of people thought this, oh my God, it's bearish. It's actually quite bullish for us to kind of come down, go sideways, and then break out into the start of the actual halving bull run. And will it happen like this? I don't know. I'm just saying what you should prepare for, because if you're prepared, you know when to buy. And I'm going to show you this. This video is going to show you many different things that you could have done, and you would have been in trades that would already be up 20%. And if you're using 10x leverage, you'd be up 200%. So these types of things are very easy to plan for if you know what to do. And so that's why we're here. Let's move on to Ethereum. It went to that 3920 level, literally almost exactly off. It went 3900. I talked about this level quite a lot, and why it's because it's a key level. Now, we did have it pull back, and we had the Darth Vader candle, or the Darth Maul candle, where the thing goes on both sides and you have the thing. But reality here is that the price of Ethereum likely could start going faster than Bitcoin if Bitcoin goes sideways, because all the alts will start to catch up. We saw a lot with some of our different baskets in the industry, from a segment to segment area or section to section of the industry. So I'm going to show you that really, really quick right now. But Ethereum, what we're looking for here is for it to kind of go sideways. And if it's going to break up, it's going to go to 3920 and break that level. And just to give you guys some perspective on where, not the all-time high, but where would actually be the resistance, it would be around 44. You guys probably remember this level from last cycle if you were here. 44 is a key level because once we break that, there's a very small amount at all-time high of resistance at 47. But between those levels, after that, like I told you, 67, 9,000, 1,100, 1,500. Those are levels I'm expecting us to get to, especially if we have an ETF. It could even get a little bit higher. I know it sounds crazy, but we're gonna plan for the future here. So that's what we're looking on for Ethereum. Now, let me just quickly go over a couple different trades that you could have been looking at yesterday and made a killing on. And these are trades I've talked about before. AJAX. AJAX was almost completely unfazed by this pullback. And actually the pullback made a beautiful Kijin bounce type trade. Didn't get exactly the Kijin, but if you had set up that trade way down here looking at, okay, where would the price action go to? Well, we had the 21 EMA, the Tenkin, and the Kijin almost right in there together, which would give you an area of support. And you also had right here, where you can clearly see the level where we have actual support in the short term from before. So that would, if you're looking at that, AJAX mooned because obviously AI had a crazy run up. Same with FET. FET also did that. Again, a Kijin bounce trade. I keep talking about these same trades, but there were 3 levels of support. Again, the Tenkin, the Kijin, and the 21 EMA. It literally tapped that, and had you had a buy order just off that level, since that point 2 days ago, you'd be up 118% on FET. Insane gains. Same with AR. We look at AR, it also had a huge pullback, not as far down as the others, but it pulled back to 23 bucks. And since it pulled back, again, this was up 60% yesterday. So as you can see, over the last couple days, the real leading indicator was AI. But actually, if you're looking further and deeper, it was DeFi too. DeFi coins absolutely mooned. And you're gonna see a very common trend on all the coins. These are types of gains where you could have put $1 million into these trades or $1,000 into these trades. And because they're so liquid, they have so much money inside of these crypto projects that it's not like a meme coin where it's brand new and has a couple 100K liquidity. These have multi-millions and some of them have billions of dollars liquidity. They're a little bit less risky and you don't have to take as much risk because you can actually sell them and they don't have as much volatility, even though there was a lot of volatility. Now, Atom is one I've been talking about. It hasn't really gone yet. So I made a massive gain from my bag that I just hold from a little bit lower because it hasn't gone yet. I think this is one as well. Now, one project that also did this, and it's pretty crazy. You see the same chart over and over again. It's something that when you become a really good trader, you actually see the same thing over and over again. And you hear the words, it's boring. Trading is boring for good traders because all we do is look for the exact same thing over and over and over again. And that's how we know from the pattern that we see which trades are good and we should take and which ones maybe we shouldn't. And so I'm trying to give you guys perspective as to what to look for. So again, a Kijin bounce trade went all the way to my liquidity pocket, which I've had on my charts for a long time. So you're gonna bought at $1.05, or if you were someone who's being a little bit more risk averse, at $1.10. And today we're up 26% on Solana, right? So as you can see, there's so much opportunity here with Solana. But here's another thing I want you to pay attention to. If we scroll out a little bit, you can clearly see that we're at a key resistance level. If we break this resistance and we go above $139 today, let's say we close at 143, which means that when the candle closes, that the actual body of the candle, not the wick, not the line, but the actual fat part of the body closes above that level, then we look for the retest and the next level up. And where the next level up for Solana is almost at almost $200, the real resistance. So this is a really good opportunity that's presenting itself here. If you haven't gone into Solana, you want to wait for that to close. So you want to wait for the 16 hours and 37 minutes from when I'm currently videotaping this. You want to wait for that daily close. You want to see that candle clearly above, and then we can go, all right, now we're going to set our buy order at 139, and then I'm going to then ride that all the way up to 198. And like I said to you before, I'm looking to get into that trade and I'm looking to make a 4R ratio. So here's what you have to be cautious of. This type of movement down to Kijin can happen again, which is why we usually put the stop loss a little bit lower than that. This would not be a good RR trade, but if you're someone who's like going to hold for the cycle, you're not really going to care. You just want to have a good opportunity to buy in. So you would buy there, wait for it to come up to 190, 198, and then go, where could it go next? Well, the next level is 265, and then it's just to the moon. Like there's nowhere else it can go. So we're looking at that targeted all-time high of $1,000 this cycle. And I think it's very realistic if we look at the trajectory of Ethereum, $1,000 for Solana is what all the large fund managers and what everyone was saying at Satoshi Roundtable. The big players, the guys with billions of dollars were all saying this. So keep your eyes on the Solana. Now, one that's been on an epic run that everyone's talking about, and here's a crazy thing. My own brother, who's never been in crypto in his life, was like, yeah, I got Robinhood app and bought $50 of Shiba. And that was like a week ago when I talked to him. And I mean, he was like, oh man, it just went up like 50%. And I was like, oh shit, you're doing good, bro. Amazing. Like, that tells me retail is coming back. And even with Shiba Inu here, even though it went on an epic run up all the way about 375%, which is insane because that's like, I think they added like $16 billion of market cap, which is insane. It's so much money that went into Shiba Inu. If it went into any of the other memes, it would have sent them to the actual moon. It had a Kijin bounce, but I don't really like its chart here. And as you can see on the RSI, it went all the way like almost to 100 on RSI. It literally went to as high as it could go. That's not a great thing. Likely needs to reset and come down into like the 60, 70 range. It doesn't have to go all the way to the bottom. And RSI is a very bad indicator on the daily because it can stay overbought for a whole entire cycle. We've seen this happen with Bitcoin do. So be careful when you're someone who's like, oh, the RSI said this, because this is what every cycle someone does. And every cycle, the market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. What that means is the market can do things that you don't expect for so long that you can actually lose all your money if you're trying to fight it. Go with the trend, go with the momentum. It's really important. But here's two of the main outliers. And I want to talk about these two. And I mean, I have talked a lot about these two, and that's Osaka. Osaka is my meme coin of the cycle. I've been trying to get everyone in and talking about it for so long. And the reason why is because I know who is behind it. And I told you guys this before, so I don't need to go and embellish this anymore. But where is it going next? Well, I don't even know at this point. It's gone so freaking high. So that's bullish. If you could ever have anything be bullish, that should probably be it. So let's go to the recent low, to the recent high, and we'll pull it back and see where are our levels here. So our shorter term levels are, you know, anywhere from the 1618, which is at 75.50, all the way up to 310,000. Remember, I went in at 1700. 310,000 is insane gains already, but I'm still targeting that way up here. And if we get up to where my target is for the cycle, we would be somewhere around $20 billion market cap, and that would be 400% from where we are right now, which is insane. It'd be $40 billion or so. Pretty crazy. But even if we get to the shorter term stuff that I'm looking at, we're looking at anywhere between, you know, 650% and up. So that's also still crazy, because even 650% from $100 million market cap, the true market cap, that's only $6 billion. And I mean, I'm saying it's only, but Pepe is already half of that, and it's not from the Shiba founders. So there's a lot of opportunity here with this one. And, you know, if you want, and you're like, well, coach, has gone up a lot. It has. Wait for a little pullback. But as you can see, the Kijin's not that far away. So a pullback could be a 50% retrace down to 26.63, which is only like a 50-60% drawdown from the price right now, which would be a good opportunity. So keep your eyes on that. I don't think it's going to come down, though, just being really frank and honest with you. The one I was talking about earlier this week was CMPT. In the last video, I talked about it as well. It's been on an absolute moon mission. It's also one that went against the grain. It did not have a huge pullback 3 days ago. It just kept going higher. These types of coins you keep your eyes on, because when everyone else is scared and selling every single other asset, including Shiba itself, and these coins are literally stuck and going higher and have no real pullback, that tells me that the people that are in it believe. The people that wanted to sell sold already too early, and now the price action is secured. And the opportunity with CMPT right now is that they want to push this, as far as I've been told from people that are that close to the team. They're telling me they're going to push it to $200. Will it get there? I don't know. You should always take a little bit of profit as it goes up. But remember, CMPT self-burns. So if it's self-burning all the time, it's like basically burning assets that's inside its own ecosystem every single day using spatial computing, which is doing a bunch of different transactions and things like that, and then it burns and buys it off the market and then burns those tokens. So basically it's deflationary by nature, but every time it buys back and burns, it adds liquidity to the Ethereum side. That's super bullish. And some people say, oh, it's been done before, it's similar. It's similar, but it's doing many different computations before it actually happens. So you have no idea where it's actually going to happen. You don't know you don't even know how to actually front run it, because you can't. So this is really something interesting, and I think you should keep your eyes on that one as well. There's definitely lots of other projects we could talk about today, but the things that I want to bring back is Bitcoin's going through supply crunch. Ethereum could go next. AI coins are super bullish, so maybe not buying them, but I'm just showing you that's kind of leading the way. DeFi is kind of getting ready and popping off a bit. We saw that with RSR, we saw that with Curve, we saw that with Sushi. So we're seeing that happen now. And all the projects that are majors, if you go open up a chart and add the Ichimoku, you'll actually see that Kijun bounce, that Kijun bounce, Kijun bounce. Now you can start preparing for yourself where you should be looking at either putting an alert on Telegram. So how you do that is very simple. You go to the Kijun, you right click, you click on add alert, and then when it goes off, when it gets to that price point, it will beep on your computer, beep, 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 and you know that, okay, this is the buying opportunity. Or you can just set a limit order on Binance or whatever other exchange you use, or on a DEX like GMX. You can do that on all those. So that's where we're gonna end today. I hope that kind of gives you clarity of where the market's going and what I'm seeing. And I hope that you guys follow, like, share these videos so that everyone can get the alpha and then they get the plan so that they don't fail.